Why is the Biltmore a worthy pop pilgrim's destination?
Well, it's been used in so many different movies and TV shows. It was a popular spot in the 80s, you know, Ghostbusters, Bachelor Party, Beverly Hills Cop. Anytime they needed like a luxurious hotel, they used the Biltmore. It's a really central hotel to Hollywood history, off-screen and on.
It's one of my favorite scenes of all the films shot at the Biltmore Hotel is when Axel Foley, played by Eddie Murphy, is trying to find a room here at the Biltmore Hotel. It's of course not playing downtown Los Angeles' Biltmore, it's playing a mythical hotel called the Beverly Palms Hotel.
Don't you think I realize what's going on here, miss?
The hotel opened in October of 1923, so Los Angeles was still quite a young city in the early 20s. But there was a tremendous amount of growth in post-war Los Angeles. The 1920s brought 100,000 people a year into this area. So we started to see quite a bit of development, and the Biltmore was a significant part of that.
It was the first hotel in Los Angeles to have 1,000 rooms, 1,000 bathrooms, and it suddenly became the new place for the Hollywood elite to stay and to party.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the many movies and TV shows that are filmed here. What are some of the major ones?
Sure. Easily over 100 movies have been shot here at the Biltmore Hotel, and lots of TV shows, even Mad Men today. Just recently used it as the Savoy Hotel in New York. And I think one of the reasons for that is that the Biltmore is your go-to hotel in Los Angeles when you need a place where young strivers are trying to break into high society.
Just where do you guys think you are?
But you got films like Bachelor Party, which was one of Tom Hanks' first starring roles. I think it was his first starring role. You know, it is one of the joys of this hotel as you walk around as like a living museum of movie history. There's all sorts of little hidden nooks and crannies, and if you're a Ghostbusters fan, you will suddenly go, oh my God, there it is. This is the Sedgwick Hotel.
Hey, anybody see a ghost?
And you see people all the time walking around here at the Biltmore who are Ghostbusters fans trying to match it up. Now, most of the Ghostbusters locations were actually in New York, but for a lot of the interiors, they were shot here. One of the great joys of that film is to see the music room of the Biltmore, which is now today's lobby, being used as a room where they're trying to get rid of these really ugly ghosts.
Speaking of movies where somebody's sort of trying to break into a new, higher society, one of the more famous ones is John Hughes' Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, sure. Well, the prom scene is right there in the Crystal Ballroom with Molly Ringwald. The Crystal Ballroom, by the way, is a place, it's been considered the prime place to have your Hollywood event. It's just a classic, and it still looks pristine today. And you can see that's why they used it as a classy place. Even in the movie Rocky III, they actually built a little fight ring inside the Crystal Ballroom. Once again, a striver kind of working his way up to high society. But also the ballroom next to it, the Emerald Ballroom, that's where Brad Pitt in the Fight Club is working as a waiter, and he decides to give something a little extra special in the soup, or I guess the lobster bisque.
Do not watch. I cannot go when you watch.
So tell us about where we're standing right now.
Well, this is a place in Chinatown right after a meeting with Faye Dunaway that Jack Nicholson tells Mrs. Mulray. He doesn't believe her, and he thinks there's a bunch of stuff that she's not telling him. You know, we think of Bradley Cooper these days as such a likable leading man, but people forget that he started out his career playing a villain in another movie shot right here in the same alley, Wedding Crashers.
How many people have you had point out that Wedding Crashers is an homage to Chinatown before?
There you go. Los Angeles is like one big collection of hidden treasures, and the Biltmore is one of them. It's right underneath your nose. A lot of people walk by, they have no idea of the splendors that are hiding inside this hotel.
Hey Brendan, what floor are we on?
Somewhere in the teens.
Tell me when we get to 20. I'm gonna throw up. That was a lifelong dream of mine.